Well, I got a little frustrated about something with these Nissans, so I decided to do something about it, and I wrote some software. This is going to be pretty cool. Alright, so many of you already know Nissans and their CVTs. They go bad quite often. Terrible units. For whatever reason, they just go bad a lot. So when you replace the CVT transmissions, you are supposed to go through and write the characteristics from the new transmission into the TCM, so the TCM knows kind of what kind of pressures and fluid rates that transmission kind of is operating at or tuned to, or whatever. Their flow rates basically is what it comes down to. So each one of these has a unique flow rate for that specific unit that needs to be wrote into the TCM, so the TCM knows how to apply solenoids and things like that. And when they're brand new transmissions, you get a CD from Nissan with the transmission. And this CD has those characteristics in a file on it that you use Consult to write those characteristics with a CD drive. A lot of things nowadays, a lot of computers don't have CD drives, so you have to have one for that. What about when the transmission is used? What do you do then? Well, you don't have a CD. All you've got is the QR code. And there's several aftermarket scan tools that can scan that QR code and write that information into the TCM for you. But I prefer to use Consult, the OEM software and tool, because I'm also doing any software updates for the TCM at the same time, because that's actually part of the process you're supposed to do. You're supposed to make sure the TCM is at the newest calibration and put the characteristic file into the TCM. That's supposed to help with longevity of the units. I don't know what they actually do with software, but it's supposed to help. So I prefer to use one tool instead of having to switch between two tools. And I get all my screenshots, just like if it was a brand new unit. I always get the screenshots from the characteristics page, just as proof that the characteristics did update, they got changed. And it does come in handy, because sometimes you get a bad one, and whoever the customer is, if they got it from a salvage yard, they may have a warranty with it, and the warranty part of that clause may be that they want to see proof that it was programmed and that it was updated and things like that. So I like to have OEM screenshots to say, yes, this unit was programmed correctly with the correct tool. So with all that out of the way, let's get into this program that I wrote and what it kind of really does. So with used units, we don't have the CD that we can put into a CD drive and have Consult load that file for us. With Consult, you can select a file that you then write to it, and it's just like you would if you was using the CD. You would just go through and find your file, select it, and let it open inside of Consult. Now I'll get into that in a little bit. But when it's a used unit, we don't have that. So one way to get that file, to correctly get it from Nissan, would actually be to go to Nissan's webpage, and once you're logged in, let me go to the home screen here and y'all can kind of see it. once you're logged in, you're on the home screen here, and down here at service support items, if you click that, my laptop's getting super hot over here. Once you click that, you get CVT TCM calibrations. This is the page, and you would put your information in here, the VIN number, and then the serial number of the unit. Well, the QR code is on the range switch of the units. It'll be a QR code pretty similar to this, and there'll also be these characters on the unit or on the range switch. And these bottom ones, this one is M922371. That is the serial number that was associated with this transmission, whatever this CD went to. This is an old one. That car is long gone, but that's what that goes to. So that would be the serial number that it wants. That top number, it doesn't care about that. I have no idea what that one is. It's the bottom number. I think it's 7 digits. Yep, 7 digits long. That's the one that it wants. So you'd put that in there. Well, as you can see, this is $35 to get this file. $35. All right, not a big deal, but when you add into the fact that the software, if you didn't already have the software for this particular TCM and you're updating that as well, that's $50. So now you're talking about like $85 just in the software to do this programming event or this update or whatever you want to call it, to get a used transmission in this thing correctly programmed and calibrated and everything. That starts to really eat into your profit margins on programming jobs, especially when you consider to do Nissan factory programming like I have. I think they went up to $1950 a year on the software, plus the interface was like $1,800 or $1,900, something like that. So it's a pretty big investment. So you've really got to get as much out of your profit margin as you can on these programming events to recoup that and have an ROI on it. So what kind of prompted this was a while back, Sean Tipping had a podcast episode where he was talking about these files and things, and he kind of put out an open challenge to anybody that could figure out how the Autel and Topdon or Launch or any of the aftermarket scan tools could take a picture of the QR code and get the file out of that makes this work. And it took me a little bit, and I figured it out. And once I figured it out, I then figured out like, hey, I can do this, but can I write a program to make this easier? And that's what I've done. So using my program that I've made is very similar. It's a very similar process that you would use when having to get the file straight from Nissan. You need to get access to the QR code. The QR code has to be readable, and I just use my smartphone, my work phone. Let me get back over here to it. And this was the serial number of this unit, and I've got a notepad basically of the QR code read. Let me get my notepad pulled back up here. Notes. So when you scan these with like the Autel or something, you will see just a lot of numbers and letters just like this that come up on it. So this was me scanning the QR code, and then I've just taken basically just copy this as, I'm going to drop my phone here, I just copy it as plain text, and I then just email it to me. I attach it into an email. Let me show you that in my email. I just attach it to an email to myself and send it to me. And as you can see, I've got a few others here from where I was tinkering with this, trying to tweak it and make it all work right. So I had a few different files. But once it's here, you just kind of highlight everything and Control V. I do, or well, Control C to copy this. And that's what you would also have to do with Nissan. Once you get to their website, you put this information in here, it's going to tell you you've got to paste this in there. So once you do that, then you can actually, it'll generate a file for you, and then you pay the $35 and it lets you download the file. So what I've got is I wrote a program. This is the source code to it, and this is free, and by the time you guys see this video, I'll have all this uploaded onto Google Drive. You can download it all down in the description. I'll have a link to it where you can download it. It's free for you to use. Absolutely don't care. All I ask is if you get some use out of it, just shoot me a donation on PayPal. You can find that down in the description as well. I know several guys that have been really interested in this that I've been talking with and kind of show them the process of me making it, and all of them's like, dude, you gotta just license it and sell it. But I really don't care. It's a simple program, and I really think a lot of guys out there could just really benefit from it. And if you think about it, if you have to use Nissan one time to buy a file for $35, well, you could just download this for free. Send me $35. I mean, and then just feel guilt-free about using it forever. You know, if you get one use out of it, cool, you know. But this is all wrote, it's in Python language. So if I take and just run my program, and you guys will get just a single file, exe file, once I get all this kind of polished out how I need it. But it's going to pop up the application, and we're just going to get our cursor in the box, and this is part of the, it's very simple. You can't even paste using the mouse. If you hit the left click, it won't let you do anything. So you've actually got to paste by keyboard. So Control V, and it pastes it there for you. Paste that file, and then we just click the generate button, and this is the modified file. This is actually what matters, how Nissan Consult reads the file. And then it also gives us a confirmation serial number that we then can verify against what our QR code said. So if I go back to my QR code, we can see that is B903242, and that is the serial number that we got there. So we know that we've got good information in there, that our QR code scanned correctly, it pasted in here right, it generated the file right, and things like that. If for some reason you didn't paste enough of the information, you're going to get just an error displayed here. But let's clear all this back out, paste our full file in. So now that we've got our full file, we can hit save, and it's going to let us pick where we want to save it, and it automatically will name it how Nissan Consult needs the file to be named for you. So you just pick a location where you know you can go back in with Consult and find it. So I have just a folder on the desktop that I've kind of made, so I'm going to click save there, and that's it. We're done. I did put a shameless little click button link here that will take you to the YouTube page. So if somebody gets this that doesn't know where it come from, they can click this and it'll take them to my YouTube page. So yeah, feel free to share this also with anybody. So let's go back over here to our consult, and now we can go to write. And I don't want to get into like the exact process. This isn't a video for how to program these. It's just showing off this software. If you want to know the process, on this page there's a link right here to the service bulletin that walks you through the correct process of everything you should be doing when you change a CVT transmission. So follow service information, follow the bulletin, get the screenshots that it tells you to take. There is screenshots that it wants, and this is for their over-the-counter warranty purposes and things like that, so that if you're doing one of these brand new, you want to follow this procedure exactly. That way your customer has the full warranty on the unit, and Nissan can't kick it back because it wasn't programmed correctly. So that's one reason I use consult. I use full consult just so they can't argue about it. But anyways, let's get back to this. So we're in the work support for the TCM, and we're going to write the IP characteristics by a file. So right here it's saying we need to select the IP characteristics file, and like I said, mine was on the desktop, just in this folder, and then right here it is. So we're going to click that to open, and it's going to tell us, hey, here's our serial number. It's basically confirming, is this your serial number? And then we would be like, yes, that's it, and hit next. And it's going to basically tell us to do the pedals and stuff like that. Let me try to do that real fast here for you. We're going to go to reverse, and we got the pedal pressed, the brake pedal pressed, just to hold us still, and we're going to hit next. And now we got to put it in park, and we got to turn the ignition off. It's going to make us wait a couple of seconds, and then we got to turn the ignition back on, and we can hit next, and then write, and there we go. Data writing completed successfully. And we can just hit end there, and once it actually selects a file and uses it, that file is gone. Once you've selected it, it's gone. If you needed or wanted to have a backup of it, you need to make a copy of it. But once it's in the TCM, you're good. But either way, now you know how you can generate that file again if you needed to. Like if this transmission control module went bad one day, was a no-com, they got another one put in here, you can now, with my software, regenerate this file again and program the new one, no problem. So that's all I wanted to show you. I think it's a pretty cool little program. It's a little rough. This is the first software program I've ever wrote in my life, so it was a definite learning experience. It was definitely fun and interesting, and I think it works fine. For most everybody that's going to need this, is perfectly fine. Yeah, it could be a little more polished, like being able to accept mouse right clicks with the paste option and things like that, but a Control V paste just fine. And I'm so used to using Control C for copy, Control V for paste. It's faster to me than right click and moving my mouse and stuff like that. So that's all I got for you guys today on this. Let me know in the comment section what you think about it. Should I have licensed it and then sold it, or just keep it open source? You guys will get on the download, once I get this uploaded, get my exe finalized and everything, it'll be uploaded to a Google Drive, and you guys will have a link to it in the description, along with the source code and everything, if you wanted to get into Python and kind of see how I did it, what's going on, it'll be there. It's interesting. You can modify it if you want to, tweak it, make it better. I really don't care, as long as it always stays free. So thanks for watching, everybody. Hit the subscribe button, hit that like button, and we'll see you guys later. So if you've made it this far in the video and you want to get this software, you guys will have it in the link in the description. I don't have the video made yet for you, so I'm going to show you where it is on my YouTube page. It's actually been here for about a week now, so it's been a little Easter egg hidden on my channel. So on my channel page, my main page, whatever you call this, in the description here of my channel, there's this little section where you can put links, and it says one more link. Well, right here it is. It's just a Google Drive file basically that you can click and it will open up in Google Drive. I'm not sure if you have to have a Google account to be able to get this or not, but whatever. If you don't, just make a quick Google account to be able to download it. But you just click the little download icon here and it will automatically download it. And sometimes, I don't know if this computer is going to do it, on my other computer it popped up a unverified thing when I tried to download it. So we'll see if this hurries up. There it goes. Okay, so it just did it by itself. It didn't pop up and say anything. But on my other laptop, it actually popped up and said something like unverified, and then you had to like click it to tell it yes, download. Okay, so if you see it pop up say something about unverified, just tell it to download anyway. But now that it's downloaded, we can go to our downloads folder, and here it is. It's just packed in a zip file. So we're going to right click and extract all. If you're on Windows 10 or something, your list is going to look more like this. So still just click extract all, and we'll put it here in this same downloads folder. It's not going to matter. And it's going to open up here, and I got a little README file here that you can kind of read if you want to. It's basically just saying that if you like the software, you can donate through my PayPal and my PayPal account, or if you're not a subscriber, just subscribe to the channel, whatever. And then this folder is actually all the source stuff. So if you're wanting to know about the coding or something like that, you can get Python and look at all the source coding. You'd have to move the icons around to get them where they need to be for the source code to read it and work. But other than that, everything is right there if you want to look at the source code. If you just want the creator, it's right there. It's one file, one thing, and you will get this pop-up. I think I've had this pop-up on every laptop I've put it on, and it's basically just saying that I'm not a known publisher. Do you want to run this software anyways? There is no virus in it or anything like that. I think you can run a virus scan on here. Seems like on some other Windows operating systems you could right click and run a virus scan. Oh yeah, scan with Microsoft Defender. So if you're wondering about it, you could run the virus scan on it. I'm not smart enough to know how to put a virus in something like that, so I was barely smart enough to figure out how to write this. But you can just double click this to more info and run anyway, and I believe it will run from now on, I think. without doing that. And there we go. So, and I've already showed you how you can just have your QR code, you paste it in here, and if you've got several QR codes, you don't have to delete anything other than just clearing this top box. You could just clear it, paste in your new code, hit generate, and it'll pop out another one. And if something about the QR code is not right, you'll see this error, like if it's not a complete QR code. It's got to be so many characters long to generate a file. And then if the file is structured correctly, you will see your serial number pop up right here. I think I already covered that in the first part of this video, but that's kind of your verification. If you've got a serial number that pops up right here that matches your QR code serial number, you got a good file, and you just hit your save and save it like that. And if for some reason you try to save it and there is no serial number there, it's going to tell you it's a default right here or whatever. That's not a good file. Don't use that file. But that's it. It's pretty simple. It's a pretty basic program. This little button here, I don't know if I showed that in the other video, but if you click that, it just takes you to my YouTube page. So if you are not subscribed, you just click the little subscribed button right there. And if you want to donate, there is some donation tabs here, or my username for donation. I prefer the PayPal or the Cash App's the easiest one. Venmo is terrible. I don't like Venmo. It's too aggravating to get my money out of Venmo. So I prefer the Cash App or the PayPal. Those two are the easiest. And yeah, thanks for watching. If you do like the software, like I said before, if you get one file done that you would have had to pay Nissan the $35 for, hey, send me the $35. I would very much appreciate it. And it would also let me know that, how many times people have actually used it or, appreciated it. If I got the $35 donation, I know what it's for. So, but otherwise, you can just donate whatever you want. I would appreciate anything and all. But yeah, if you do one Nissan where it saves you from having to buy the file one time, you've basically paid for a file, and then if you use it again, you can use it guilt-free. So thanks for watching, everybody. Hope you enjoy this. Hopefully I can work on some more projects like this. I've got a few other ideas in mind, a little more complicated, so it depends on if I can actually figure out how to make those programs work or not. So thanks for watching. We'll see you guys later.